guys, it's Simply Sarabeth here. Welcome back to my channel. Here we are doing part 2 of my farmhouse build. Today we are going to be decorating it, my favorite part. So last time we left off with painting all of the walls, which I'm finishing here, and we are going to get right into decorating the kitchen, one of my favorite rooms in the house. So the kitchen is kind of the main focal point. When you walk in through the entry, you see the kitchen over to your right after the entry hall. I really love the Parenthood pack for this kitchen because I think it just fits this whole farmhouse aesthetic. I love the fridge in that pack. It just looks like a fridge that would actually be in this house. And I love those mason jar lights so much. So like I mentioned before, I'm kind of building this house with things that my mom would like in mind. So like very, Pinterest mom. So I kind of thought about like who would live here. Of course, not my family, but I just thought of like a mom and a dad and like 2 kids, maybe a brother and a sister. And I can just imagine them like making breakfast or like meal prepping or something in this kitchen. So here I'm just laying out the cabinets. I'm gonna put some decorations on top of them. You're gonna see me using move objects a lot, and I am going to do a tutorial for that a little bit later on. Let me know if there's anything you guys don't know how to do but would like to learn, and I can make a tutorial on that. And here I'm just pulling out a bunch of random things and putting them in the rooms that I want them to be in. I typically work room by room using the tabs, so I'll sort by room and then just go kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, whatever. But they don't always have things in the proper spot, so I just pick things out as I go and put them in the rooms I want. So here we've got those fancy plates sitting on top of the cabinets that nobody's allowed to touch. I actually own fancy plates that nobody's allowed to touch, except for everything that I own is like spooky Halloween themed, so I have a bunch of like Halloween fancy plates that nobody is allowed to touch, and sometimes I use them as like my fruit bowls or things like that.
So I guess I'm the only one allowed to touch them.
I really love to build pantries. I didn't film it, but I put so much work, just hours of work of sorting through things in the debug menu to fill my pantry in my Victorian home, which I will probably make a stop motion video for sometime later. But it takes a lot of time because you can't necessarily search for each item. Some of them you can, but a lot of them are just titled debug, so you can't actually search for them. So it takes a lot of time to make a pantry. I didn't want to put that kind of effort into this one, so I just put a few things in the pantry. I mostly put the effort into decorating this house. I just tried to really clutter up the counters and make it look lived in. One of my favorite things are those leaves. I actually have those leaves above my own kitchen cabinets. Just like a nice, I don't know, I got it during a fall at Michael's. And I just think it looks so nice. It looks so like suburban mom, which is exactly the vibe that I'm going for with this build. Of course, we gotta have a big old wine rack in there. And of course, like all suburban moms, they've all got their ceramic animals in their kitchens. So I love that they included those because they fit so well. Here's my little minimal effort pantry. Gets the job done. And then this is the little breakfast nook. I got the Dine Out package. That's like one of the most recent packages that I got, and they've got those seats. I didn't necessarily think it fit the space. I mean, it fits the space size-wise, but it doesn't necessarily fit looks-wise. But it's really the only bench seat that they have. They didn't really have any good choices, so I just went with that and then tried to pick a table that went with it. And you see me go through several different tables here. It was so hard to find something that looked appropriate for that breakfast nook. I just kind of wanted it to look built into the wall. And we have that little breakfast nook over there because we have a formal dining room that you saw me adding things to. I just like that idea of that separated area where you can keep it nice. They've got like their china cabinet, and they've got their nice table with their nice decorations, and then they have that little breakfast nook that's just kind of built into the corner out of the way for quick and easy.
I don't know how many tables I went through with that. I should have just downloaded something. I think in the end it ended up looking fine. So now we're moving on to the living room, and I'm really proud of the way that I did this living room. The one thing though is I went through a lot of couches, and this is where I started downloading custom content. I vowed to not get any in this game on this computer, and this is where I just lost it. I couldn't do it anymore because the couches in all of the packs are so ugly. I hate them all. Sometimes I can make them work. I can make them work in a lot of different houses, but they just didn't work in this one, and they don't have matching. I really liked the couches from the Parenthood pack, but they don't match. They don't have a couch and a love seat, and I really wanted either 2 couches or a couch and a love seat. So I struggled to put some couches in here until I just broke down and went and downloaded some. But I wanted it to kind of go with that blue theme. That couch was okay, but it was just too big. I couldn't have 2 of them in there because the space was just not big enough for 2 of them. And then the love seat from the same pack just didn't match. I hate that. I tried so hard to make it work. By the way, I think I forgot to mention this in my first video, but this farmhouse is across the street from my mall that I built, which I thought that was a cute little story because I made up that the people who own this little farmhouse used to have like a big farm, but they sold it to the city developers, and that's why there's a mall across the street. See, this furniture set doesn't look too bad. I was trying to go for like a modern farmhouse look, and that just didn't look modern farmhouse. It looked like an old lady lives there. Not a Pinterest mom. And I love that accent wall with that fireplace and the shelving. I've always loved things like that in houses. So I was really excited that I could do that in this farmhouse. I struggled to find something to go above that fireplace though. I feel like looking through the catalog for decorations for this accent wall is like my fix of going to TJ Maxx, since I can't right now. I just want to go through and browse all of the blankets and the candles and the furniture and the rugs and all of that. I just want to go look at it and not buy anything because I can't, but I just want to dream about it. So basically the whole process for decorating this accent wall is just as if I had walked through Home Goods and just picked out a bunch of random stuff. The process of picking rugs is so difficult. I like a couple of the rugs that we have, but very few of them, and then I end up using the same rugs all the time, and I don't have any variety, so I'm trying to use a little bit of variety, but it's just so hard. I feel like none of them fit the space, and none of them fit in with the decorations. It's just hard to pick rugs. So I'm moving on to just adding little decorations throughout, kind of just making it look like it's lived in. I'm just kind of trying different things. A lot of the times the process is just trying a million things until you find something you like. So we're moving on to the office now. Just adding a little desk in there. This is where the computer is gonna be, and then a bookshelf and a couple of miscellaneous little skill items. Just a room off to the side. We had this room in our old house. Almost the exact same spot. That's where the computer was, and then like my mom had her sewing stuff in there. So with a knitting pack coming out, I guess I could put whatever stuff we get for knitting in there and have it be accurate. And I just put an acoustic guitar and an easel in there, and just some stuff, I think, just random things that somebody might have in their office. I saw that little lighthouse lamp and I thought it would be cute. I think it kind of fits the vibe, so I went and added it into the living room. And then I added a pile of bills to the desk and a little pile of crafting items in the corner. Here I already have all of the laundry room stuff placed because I accidentally put it all in the bathroom because I originally planned for the laundry room to be over there and I forgot I moved the rooms around, and then when I realized, I drug it all over to the actual laundry room and then just set it up. Which I really love that laundry room. I'm really proud of it. It's such a nice laundry room. And then I'm starting on the bathroom here. One thing that makes me sad is how hard it is to get really good pictures and like a good view of the small rooms, because I like the walls up so you can see the art and the stuff that is on the walls and you don't see everything else in all the other rooms. Like with the walls down, you see the couch and stuff, and I think it's really distracting from what you're doing. But it's hard to see all of that with the walls up in such a small room. So this bathroom is kind of the kids' bathroom. You see I have that other room decorated as like the entertainment room, but I put it upstairs to kind of combine like the game room and the TV room into one so that I could have a kid's bedroom there. So this is the, I guess, family/guest bathroom. Picking a rug. I always go for the same ones, especially when I'm decorating in blue. And then we're moving on to the master bedroom. It was really tough to pick a bed that I liked here. I wanted something that was kind of rustic, but not too rustic. Then I was comparing all of the end tables. And I was closing that off to make it a master bathroom and closet. I love that mirror. I think it comes from the Jungle Adventure pack. I'm pretty sure it might come from Island Living, but I'm pretty sure it comes from Jungle Adventure. I use that mirror every time I get a chance, and I really like to set it on top of a dresser because it looks like it's kind of built in. It's just a really nice big mirror. And then we're moving on to the cabinets in the bathroom. Just kind of adding some clutter and making it look like a bathroom. I really like using move objects to place those mirrors together, like the full wall mirrors, because they look like the big bathroom mirrors. Having more troubles with rugs. Just all the time. Just troubles with rugs. I went with that one, but I wasn't in love with it. And then I saw that little tray thing. I have no idea what it's actually supposed to be, but I thought it looked like it was in a magazine, like a staged picture. So I added it like it was a little breakfast in bed thing. So now we're moving all of the stuff from the game room up to the entertainment room upstairs, the little TV room. And then just rearranging that stuff. It was kind of hard to fit everything in there. I had to get rid of something. I think I got rid of that. I just couldn't fit everything. The man cave or whatever. They've got their foosball and their couch, their little rundown couch and their TV. Just decorating it with some lights, and then I add posters all over. And then this is the kids' bedroom. They share a room. I don't know, in my head there was a boy and a girl, but I don't know. Anybody could be in this room. Got their matching dog bone beds. And then I just wanted this to kind of be a messy room, and I just really cluttered it up. Just went crazy with all of the toys. Put a little diary on one of the beds. I just wanted it to look like a real kid's room, and just with things all over the place. Piles of clothes. I love that floor clutter. I kind of wish they had different piles of clutter, because you know it's not going to stay in one small spot like that, but I can't place that same pile of clutter everywhere. Even if it's different colors, it's the same pattern, and it's not good. So you either have to have the exact same pattern of clutter everywhere, or all of the clutter is in just one spot. And then moving on to adding a bunch of clutter to the garage. Growing up, my parents very rarely parked in the garage because there was so much junk in it, so I was trying to emulate that a little bit. And then I love those little water spots from the Strangerville pack. It just adds that touch to the garage. I just kind of put holes in the wall and muddy dog prints and stuff. And then here I was trying to make it look like a garage. There's the garage doors from the City Living pack. They're meant to be like murals that you can paint on. They look like the doors that go over shops in the city. They don't look like house garage doors, so they look really dumb. So I ended up actually getting rid of them, and then I found a painting on the gallery that looked like a kind of like a barn inspired garage door, so that's what I ended up adding later. See, there's the one I was talking about, and it doesn't look good. Moving on to the front porch, just adding a few little rustic things. I really like that milk jug. My mom has a couple of those galvanized milk jugs, and they are expensive because they're probably highly sought after by people who would live in something like this. Adding a couple of bikes and just making it look like somebody lives here. I just keep finding things that would go in other rooms, so I just add them. Now it's time to move on to the front yard. I used to hate landscaping, but I found that I really like to do it a lot lately. Just the more I practice, the more I enjoy doing it. Trying out all the mailboxes, see which one looks the best. So then here I am just kind of making a driveway. It is so difficult to make something look like it actually has a garage and driveway. I hope at some point they add stuff in to make it look like a real house, because houses have garages, houses have driveways, so it's just hard to make it look realistic. Put a little basketball hoop above the garage for the kids, and then built this little walkway up to the front of the house, trying to make it look fancy. Cute little birdhouse in the front yard. And then add in a bunch of plants. Plants just make everything look better. I can't wait until I have a yard that I can landscape in real life and pick out plants. Although I probably wouldn't be able to take care of it, so... So the next challenge is I wanted a fence. I love to have foundations on my houses, and I also like to have fences because I think the houses look kind of dumb just sitting on the ground. They look better with foundations, but they also have fences normally, and I don't like that it's hard to add a fence to a house that has a foundation because it wants to connect and it wants to add the foundation to the fence. If anybody knows a way around that, let me know, because I struggle with it. And here I struggled with trying to add a different foundation to the fence so that it didn't look dumb. And eventually I got it. I got to have a different foundation on my fence than my house. So I don't know how, but it happened, and I will take it. But then, like, that gate doesn't actually work because they can't... I don't know if they can get up past the foundation. I think it's too high at that point. But I wanted a gate for looks' sake, I guess. But it's just... there are just some aspects that make it hard to make it look like a real house. So I just did a little bit of minimal landscaping in the backyard. I put that little bee house and a hot tub. And then just a little bit of landscaping, a little bit of a few flower plants. Some sunflowers for the bees. And then high traffic areas. Just kind of make them look a little bit worn down, like the grass is kind of worn down. Adding a hole up in the entertainment room and a poster to cover it. My sister actually punched a hole in her wall once and covered it with a poster. And then we're revisiting the master bedroom to kind of add a little something to that wall. Kind of break it up a little bit. And then here I am just on the gallery. I searched art because I didn't want to download a bunch of custom content. So I just went and got some art from the gallery. I found the canvas that looks like a garage door, so that helped a lot to make that look a lot better. And just some homey things into the bedroom. One of the cons of sizing things up is sometimes you get that weird shadow, but just deal with it. I wanted that clock to be bigger. Just finding some more artwork. I wanted it to be like, you know, white mom kind of stuff. So just those like Pinterest looking chalkboard paintings. When I showed my mom, she said that she wanted a couple of them. So I did good on picking what a Pinterest mom might want in here. Shout out to the people who make those and put them on the gallery, because I would be very sad without you. Alright, so that is the finished house. I am just going to show a couple of pictures of the finished product here. Don't forget to like, comment, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And I will see you guys next time.